Justin, we'll start with David. 350 AFL games. When you look back on his career, what's your impressions?
Oh, it's a phenomenal effort. It just goes back to the work he's put in off the field. You can't sustain a career that long and the motivation that long if you're not if you don't love what you're doing, and you don't invest in learning and getting the best out of yourself and growing. So it's just he's a great role model for our younger players and everyone at the footy club.
What does his re-signing do for those younger players?
Oh, I think gives them a bit of a boost at knowing that they can learn off him for another year. It's great for us coaches and staff to have someone so experienced around our younger players.
But he spoke openly about the fact that he still thinks there's a premiership in sight. Signing on for another year would also boost the confidence in your younger players as well.
Well, it's the longer we can have him around playing great footy is only beneficial for us. So it's great to have him on board for another year, at least.
Is that when you say that at least the age bracket was not in consideration for him? Is that like continue to be the case going forward?
No, it never is the case. It's always form, the behaviours they're exhibiting around the club, whether players are still willing to invest all of themselves into what we're trying to do, and he hasn't shown any inclination of dropping that off. So he's really invested in what we're doing. He's committed to getting better himself, at helping us get better, and the age doesn't really come into it.
Would a win over Sydney be the perfect birthday present to give him?
I haven't really thought about it in that context. A win over Sydney would be nice for a lot of reasons. But really it's about the process. We need to get back to playing our way and put in a better effort than what we did last Thursday.
What is it about Sydney that has turned around in the last couple of months?
Well, it's really all year. They've got a good mix of senior players and youth. They play a really strong, contested, exciting, free-flowing brand of footy. And they ask questions of the opposition, so we're going to have to be on our game.
Does the game being at Metricon, is that an advantage to you guys as opposed to cutting your part?
No, not really. No. Anywhere, anytime.
How's it been this year with the game being that game? As one example, the game has been moved a lot, and there's been a few fixtures that have been moved around this year. How's it been adjusting to those changing venues?
Well, it really just does make it 1 week at a time. We're scheduled to play on Saturday. We're playing on Sunday. It just throws your schedule around a little bit, but really, as long as you've got a week or a couple of weeks' notice, you can adjust pretty quickly. And I think that's what the last couple of years have taught us at AFL land, is that you don't need to plan out the whole year. You can be flexible, adaptable, and life goes on if the fixture changes. So I think it's laid a bit of a blueprint for the AFL moving forward.
How's Nat 5 been tracking this week with you?
Good. We've had a 10-day break, I think it'll be 10 days by the time we play. So that extra time has been good for him. He's responded really well.
Did he have a scan after last week?
No.
How's Sean tracking?
We'll have to get through training, but we're pretty positive on Sean. Yeah, it's not as bad as we maybe thought, so he's had a good result.
Matt Taberner, can you declare him fit?
He's fit and he'll play at some level this week. He's had an interrupted probably last 8 weeks. I think it was against Sydney around 10. He hurt his ankle, and he's been interrupted since. So he'll play at footy at some level, but we'll just have to wait to see how he gets through training, see how confident he is. Clearly he's a good replacement for Lobby, who will miss this week. So hopefully he's in a good frame of mind and feels confident, but we'll have to have a chat after training about that decision.
That 10-day break, has that given some other players a chance to get up that they might not have had?
I don't know, probably off the top of my head, probably not. It's given us a lot of time to reflect and think about our performance against Geelong, and I know our players are really keen to get out there and respond.
When you say Matt can play at some level, is there a chance he'll play at the waffle level this week?
Yeah, there's a chance. Yep. We just need to weigh up what's best for his game and our game, and a little bit of that will be based on how confident he feels in not his body, because his body should be right to go if he gets through training. It's just more on his craft and how confident he is to get out there and mix it with a really good side.
What does he bring to the forward line? Does he give you more? Does he straighten the game up a bit as a leading target?
Well, like I said before, he's just probably a good replacement to Lobby. He gives us a strong contest and gives us a really honest work rate down there. The thing that probably gets lost with Tabs is his work rate's phenomenal for someone his size. So he always provides us an option forward of the ball, and I've probably missed that a little bit at times. So it'd be good to have him back. It's just whether it's this week or next week, we'll just have to weigh up.
What's sort of your opinion with pushing ahead with the season, considering so many states are sort of in lockdown as opposed to maybe this week taking a week off?
For me, it's a no-brainer. While you can, you've got to charge on, because everyone's saying bring the 1 week rest forward, but 1 week's not going to solve COVID. So we've just got to charge on while we can, because it might come a stage later where it just becomes desperate and we need to stop. So we just shouldn't pass up the opportunity to play while we can.
So prospect of Palms today is still worrying you at this stage, or?
Not really. I think there's been precedent put in place that teams can come and play us in WA. So post this game we're due 3 home games, and I sort of think that'll go ahead as normal because there's a precedence that the government set, and I haven't seen anything to say that won't go ahead.
This time around, have you seen that it appears that the states are more open to teams going backwards and forwards? Is that a big difference to last season?
Yep. Yeah, it done in the right way, and making sure that teams really abide by the state government protocols, which I think we have. It's a little bit more flexible. The other thing is, obviously Victoria is still allowing teams to train and exemptions to train, and we got those exemptions as well whilst in quarantine. So that's pretty critical for charging on. So there's been a few exemptions which have probably allowed the season to go ahead, to be honest.
Do you think you're in a bit of an advantage with that longer break within Sydney? Have had a shorter one, they're missing some players, they're missing some staff from this time?
Oh, they've had a week's break. A week break is pretty typical and doesn't really affect you too much. So we expect them to be at their best, and hopefully we can get back to our best.
The round 10 win, 2 points thriller at home. How much do you put the footage about what you did right against the Swans last time?
A little bit. Yeah, you always try and marry up past performances because that gives the players confidence. But you need to understand where they've been changed and improved, and since then. And it's 2 months is a long time in footy, so we're marrying those two things up and making sure that the players have got the right recipe.
There was another injury setback for Stephen Hill. How's he going this week, and is there any update?
Yeah, he was probably more precautionary than an injury setback, and just don't really want to take any risks. So he'll play at Peel this week. Yep. As long as he gets through training, which we think he will. Yep.
How much would you love to see him back though?
For a number of reasons. I think he's still a really good player, but I'd just love to see him get some reward for the effort he's put in through his rehab. It's a lonely existence sometimes, and he's been there a lot the last 2 or 3 years, and he deserves an opportunity to string a few games together and put his hand up.